Oh my god, the transmission's going out!
After Half-Life 2's campaign is Episode 1, which ends with the Citadel going critical and derailing the train that you and Alex are escaping in. It's worth starting Half-Life 2 Episode 2's summary with its trailer, which shows Alex hanging on for dear life from a collapsed bridge of some kind. Then, just as she's about to fall, it cuts to her being carried by a Vortigaunt. Wow, they sure gave away a lot of what happened in this game, didn't they? Or did they? Episode 2 starts with Gordon waking up in a derailed train carriage. You make it down to the bottom and meet back up with Alex again, who is absolutely fine.
Gordon, thank God you're okay.
She rescues you from the carriage with the gravity gun, which she then gives back to you because she knows that you're the best. You check out what's left of the Citadel, but before long it lets off a powerful portal storm which messes you up and destroys the bridge behind you. Really showcasing the awesome pre-calculated destruction that Valve added for this game. You head through a short mine littered with a new, smaller kind of explosive barrel. You get to a control room and Alex attempts to fix it.
Hey, if you have any blinding insights into how to fix this, go for it.
You get in touch with the rest of the team, which now includes a brilliant but dislikable scientist called Dr. Magnuson.
Yes, I'm not deaf. You see, Kleiner, it's the linchpin of all of their plans. Well, what you have there, young lady, is the specific contact code for the Combine overworld. Good God. Now, if I am right about this, and I have no reason to doubt myself, you are carrying the very code Dr. Mossman had hoped to recover.
You're told that the Combine are trying to open a super portal using the Citadel. Alex is told she has the specific contact code for the Combine overworld, and she must make her way to them ASAP. You make your way through another small mine. Then, as you're being watched by strange alien robot things, you break into this room. But Alex tells you she's not alone out there. And before you can make it back to her in time...
Oh my god! The Vortigaunt summons reinforcements and says he'll take care of her, which is just as well because very soon Gordon's off doing his own thing again, getting a new crowbar and plummeting down a lift shaft into the mines below. Eventually you find a pistol, then pass through some alien-made tunnels, with these pretty looking bugs everywhere, which will give you health if you crush them. You encounter a new kind of enemy, an antlion worker, who's able to deal massive damage in the form of a long-range acid attack. After a few more caves you make it to a large clearing. Alex is being healed by the Vortigaunt, and you must help defend them from antlion attacks, aided by 2 rebels and 2 gun turrets. Unlike those seen in earlier games, these can be destroyed if they sustain enough damage.
Checkley. What? Checkley. What? Forget it.
Together you fend against countless waves of antlions. Then a load of friendly Vortigaunts come to help, and you all battle against a huge army of antlions.
Now
they take a look at Alex and decide she needs help from larval extract. So one of them comes with you to retrieve it from the tunnels, deep underground. It's soon made clear that he loves you because he greatly compliments your actions, no matter how blundered or trivial they may be.
The Freeman is a quick thinker and a fast mover.
You head down deeper and deeper, in some parts mines, in others tunnels. You have a large fight at the base of an elevator here.
A poignant scene, an eternity's repose. It brings peaceful thoughts, does it not?
Then you find yourself in the alien tunnels again, this time having to avoid the terrifying antlion guards by sticking to the tunnel networks, which proved too small for them to fit through. The Vortigaunt, still don't know how to pronounce that, finds himself stuck at the top of a lift shaft
and you must find a gear to complete the mechanism to lower him down. Down here in the heart of the Antlion tunnels, you come to the larval extract, and your friend retrieves it for you. Then you pass all the way back up the lift shaft, and he tells you a story under the beautiful light of the extract.
Well done. Antlion husbandry was once our ancestral practice. The extract is the most prized by far. If we lose her, we lose all.
You come out directly where Alex is, and they heal her to the best of their abilities.
Freeman's life.
Dr. Freeman. I realize this moment may not be the most convenient for a heart-to-heart, but I had to wait until your friends were otherwise occupied. There was a time they cared nothing for Miss Vance, when their only experience of humanity was a crowbar coming at them down a steel corridor. When I plucked her from Black Mesa, I acted in the face of objections that she was a mere child and of no practical use to anyone. I have learned to ignore such naysayers when quelling them was out of the question. Still, I am not one to squander my investments, and I remain confident she was worth far more than the initial appraisal. That's why I must now extract from you some small repayment owed for your own survival. See her safely to White Forest, Dr. Freeman. I wish I could do more than keep an eye on you, but I have agreed to abide by certain restrictions. Well, now, listen carefully, my dear. When you see your father, relay these words. Prepare for unforeseen consequences.
She soon recovers from her near-death experience, and the three of you head off to White Forest.
But I have a feeling I'm lucky to be here. I think I'm okay.
As you leave these mines, you spot a Combine army, also heading towards Eli and that lot. It's important you reach there before they do.
God. The Combine's on the move.
You head along this beautiful open valley until you're attacked by two Antlion guards, who must be destroyed before you can progress further. You climb the cliff and come to an abandoned factory, which is one of my favourite bits of Half-Life. Your goal is to reach the bridge at the far end and to drive the car back across it. Alex stays here on the sniper, and you head off on a twisty maze of corridors and rooms. No Combine here anymore, only zombies. This area is pure gameplay. Who cares if this sort of place wouldn't exist in real life? You have your lift shaft bits, then a maze of warehouses. Of particular note is the large battle inside this warehouse, which Alex will help you with if she can get a clear shot through the ceiling. Then you've got to traverse this toxic slime. It opens up again as you escape the complex, and climb up onto the cliff opposite. Finally, you reach the car, but at that exact moment there's another portal storm and it messes up the bridge. You clear the cars off it and it tips back towards you, letting you drive it back across. But oh no, the door's closed. How can you possibly open it?
Well done, Freeman.
This is where you say goodbye to the Vortigaunt. These are large open vehicle levels. Think the coast segment of Half-Life 2, but with more detail, more places to explore, and a companion. It's like the best of everything. You reach a radio tower and decide to broadcast a warning to White Forest to warn them of the approaching Combine army. You sneak in while Alex waits outside. You've got to do some kind of cable puzzle, then meet back up with Alex in the main room. But you're not alone.
Gordon, hide. Hunters. They're out there.
You are attacked by a pack of hunters who use their blue darts that eventually explode attacks against you. These hunters take a lot of damage before they go down, but they're not quite as indestructible as the Striders, as a load of revolver bullets, or a few well-placed gravity gun launches will do the trick.
In a nearby building, Alex tries to warn Dr. Magnuson, but the signal cuts out, rendering this whole radio segment of the game pointless.
What?
Crap.
Further on, Alex recognises a landmark.
Hey, I know that peak. You can see it from White Forest.
As you enter the next load of houses you come to, your vision begins to go strange. There must be an advisor somewhere close by. You break your way into this depressingly lit barn, then blowing up the control panel causes this to happen. What beautiful pre-calculated physics. Combine attack and you've got to fight your way out and back to the car.
Let's get out of here.
And then the Hunter chopper attacks, dropping mines ahead of you, a bit like it did in that airboat section of Half-Life 2. You reach the end of the railway tracks, but exactly at that point your car's engine explodes and a group of rebels call you to cover. Without a rocket launcher, you've got to take the helicopter down by launching its dropped mines back at it. You'd think it would eventually learn that dropping these is a bad idea, wouldn't you? But it continues, blissfully unaware. Luckily for you, these rebels have everything needed to repair your car.
Hey, I was drinking that!
All you have to do in return is a quest to clear the way ahead. This area is swarmed with zombies and toxic slime. Make it under this fence and you encounter a unique weapon. It's some kind of super powerful gun turret, which will quickly deplete your health if you're caught out by it. To avoid its attacks, you must crouch through a scrapyard until you can reach the outpost it's being fired from. Along the way, you encounter pockets of Combine who themselves are fighting for their lives against the zombie horde. Finally, you reach the gun outpost building. It's heavily guarded, filled with Combine. I had a good fight here. To disable the weapon, you've got to chuck a grenade down here. Then back to the car, which is good to go again. They even threw in a freebie. This radar beacon thingy makes a beepy sound and shows you where to go to find it.
What's that? Something on the radar?
Once you're there, you've got to solve a small puzzle to figure out where the cache is, or how to reach it. These are essentially supply crates, and there are a few dotted around in this yard.
We'd never have known this was here without the beacon.
Once you're done with that, you head on through a tunnel and to another small village.
Ah, what the...
It's eerily quiet. But reach the bottom and the lasers turn on and you realise it's all a trap. This is one of the longest and most difficult fights in all of the Half-Life 2 trilogy. Your best bet is to rush from window to window, shooting at whatever you can see outside. It's a mixture of Combine and Hunters, and they just keep coming. Once you've defeated this small army of Combine, you need to deactivate the laser grid before you can drive on. This involves backtracking to the previous bunch of houses. You fight yet more Combine here. Then there's a bit of a navigation puzzle in this building to reach the energy core, which you then shoot. You can then drive on to the next area.
That doesn't sound good. My 4 sentries are doing their job.
You reach the foot of White Forest and find a downed gunship, and so starts one of the best known bits of the game.
What the hell?
A Strider! Over here, boy! Dog! Oh no! Oh my god! Get clear!
Oh no! You're all right.
With the Strider defeated, you race Dog up to the outpost. I absolutely wrecked that robot and made him sad. White Forest is an absolute beast of a fortification, filled with rebels, bunkers, and now Dog, Alex, and Gordon Freeman as well.
All right, back to work, everyone. It's just another false alarm
This is the last proper chapter of the game. It starts with Alex reuniting with Eli.
We make a pretty good team.
And it's awesome because he embarrasses her again in front of her crush, me.
Now that the suppression field's down, we all have to do our part.
Dad?
Can you blame an old man for wanting grandkids?
Dad, it's not what it looks like.
All three of you take a lift down to where Dr. Kleiner and Magnuson are working, and the two couldn't be more different.
You crazy old conjugal parasite! Away from my nose cone!
Alex hands Dr. Kleiner the important data that she pulled from the Citadel all the way back at the beginning of episode 1. And then a siren sounds.
Freeman, you're not doing anything. Make yourself useful and find out what the hell is going on here.
It's assumed to be a false alarm, but you're told to investigate just in case. You take a lift down beneath the rocket. You see Vortigons in lab coats, groups of rebels, but something isn't right. The place is attacked by hunters, somehow. And Combine. These baddies even had time to set up gun turrets. You fight your way through room after room of these mothers. You've got to reach the control panel and close the silo doors to prevent any more from entering.
Freeman! Freeman, have you heard a word I've been saying? Up to you to seal the lost doors. Well, back to work.
This side is where we think it is.
You all meet up again to see the transmission from Judith. But midway through the stream she gets interrupted by an attack, and you get a glimpse of the Borealis.
It's the Borealis.
Good God.
Incredible.
What?
Our peers at Aperture Science were at work on a project of some promise. Their research vessel had simply disappeared, and even part of the dry dock.
That thing has to be destroyed.
But think of the advantage for humanity. We can't simply waste all that potential.
Has Black Mesa taught you anything?
Gordon and I are more than able to handle this. We'll get her back.
Then Alex falls into a trance and does this.
Prepare for unforeseen consequences.
What did you say?
Dad!
You mind getting me a cup of tea?
Eli seems to know all about the G-Man and shares with you his own encounters with him.
The last time I heard those words was back at Black Mesa. You had just stepped into the test chamber when he whispered them in my ear. You know who I'm talking about. Our mutual friend. When he brought in that crystal, I knew I should have aborted that damn test, but I didn't. Now he's using my little girl, putting words in her mouth.
Here you go.
Alex makes him a nice hot tea, and then my favourite character comes back in to speed things up again.
Oh, excuse me if I'm interrupting tea time.
He explains he's been working on a secret weapon to help bring down the Striders.
We call it the Magnuson device. Not my chosen label, you understand, but it seemed to please the personnel.
You've got to launch it at them, then when it's attached it will take just one shot to destroy them. It means you no longer need rockets.
If you pull this off, I might just forgive you for that debacle at Black Mesa. You know the one I mean, involving a certain microwave casserole.
My God, what are you doing?
The gang's up north by the old sawmill. Here.
This next fight is unlike anything else seen in Half-Life. It's a large open map with various buildings that you've got to protect, and a number of Strider attacks. You must rush about defeating those things before they can reach White Forest. There is an achievement if you manage this without a single building being destroyed, and while I have managed it in the past, didn't in this run. Look at that pretty destruction. After every Strider, you must rush back to one of the remaining buildings and pick up another Magnuson device to destroy the next one with. It's more than just Striders. Most come with a pack of hunters, which must be killed first, otherwise they shoot down the Magnuson device, forcing you to retreat to find another. Win this fight and you return to base.
The Striders have been defeated!
You're thanked by Dr. Magnuson, which clearly pains him to say it.
I feel compelled to thank you personally. Thank you.
Wow. For a minute there, I thought you were going to get a hug.
After everybody says how awesome you are, you get to launch the rocket that will hopefully shut down the super portal over the Citadel.
Yeah!
We sure did.
I can't control myself.
None of you are that cool, so you all go outside for a better look at the explosion. But before you can get there,
The more I think about that warning from our friend, the more I'm convinced it has to do with Borealis. Don't be deceived. That ship must never be used. You have got to destroy it, whatever the cost.
Eli hints at what you've got to do next. Probably in episode 3, to be released sometime in 2008.
I couldn't be prouder if you were my own son.
Time to see if they've managed to save the world.
We did it!
You've saved the world.
We sure as hell did, and not a moment too soon.
Then you two are to head off in a helicopter to search for Judith Mossman. Here's the final sequence.
We'll keep the hailing frequency open on the chopper radio in case Judith tries to reach us again.
Good idea. She could well make another attempt.
Oh no.
Dad! Gordon! Help! Dad!
Alex!
Dad! Get away!
Listen to me. Destroy that ship! Whatever it takes! Destroy it!
Don't! Dad, look out! No! Dad! Dad! God damn it, let go of him! Oh my god!
I love you, sweetheart. Close your eyes, honey.
I love you, Dad!
Don't look.
No! Oh my god, no! No! Gordon! Stop! Dad! Oh god! Dad! Dad, please! Dad! Oh my god! No! No! Oh my god!